going on? It's your boy Sheep the Wise. Welcome back to Vader's Lair. I hope you guys are having a great week. Happy Tuesday. Let's get into it and do it, because we got some Bad Batch Season 2 updates, or hopefully we do. Let's get into it though. Let's go. Alright, let's get it going. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Smash that like button. And let's talk about this Bad Batch Season 2 update. So, all the way back in like June-ish, we had heard that Bad Batch Season 2 was going to be coming in September 28th, or around there. And it was seemingly confirmed at Celebration, if I remember. At least they said it was coming fall. And just after Celebration, there were different parts of the world where their Disney Plus was starting to advertise for Bad Batch coming September 28th. Whoa! What the hell just happened? Proxy with the $100 super chat saying, "Love ya, homie. Keep putting in that work." I appreciate you for that, Proxy. That is too generous, my friend. Thank you for the donation there. Wow. Thank you for the super chat. Catching me off guard at the beginning of the stream. But let's continue on here. Much love to you, man. That's a big donation. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so the Bad Batch Season 2 was seemingly going to be September 28th. It was popping up, advertising around the world, right? All of a sudden, Andor, which was set to be August 31st, which I don't know if you guys know, but that's today. No Andor today. no Andor today. But it was originally set to be August 31st, and we were going to have 2 episodes today for the Andor show. And then, of course, they pushed it back, getting 3 episodes now for the premiere on September 21st, which is still a little under a month away now. 21 days to be exact. Around the corner, to be honest. And it's super exciting, but that put into question, with the Bad Batch Season 2 originally being September 28th and getting Andor September 21st, are we going to get the Bad Batch on September 28th still? And it seemed like a lot of us as fans were thinking, nah, that's not going to happen. It probably won't. Like, it's too close together. When the shows were already seemingly going to run congruent as it was, where Andor's mid-season finale was going to be the Bad Batch premiere date originally. Well, now we're here. Andor's the 21st. Bad Batch is seemingly being put out there still from Australia, I think, and a couple different other parts of the world. It's still being advertised for the 28th. And people even reached out to basically the Disney Plus, I don't know how to describe it. They reached out to Disney Plus basically and asked them, when is Bad Batch coming? When is this product going to be out? And they said it was going to be September 28th. Now, whether Australia and these Disney Plus people like are current with what's going on with Star Wars or with the release dates, who knows? Because honestly, at the end of the day, Lucasfilm is super secretive about all this stuff, and we really have no idea. That's the main basis of today with this Bad Batch update, is we don't know. We really don't know. And September 28th is our hopeful date that it could come. That'd be really cool if we get 3 episodes of Bad Batch, and then of Andor, and then the 4th episode of Andor is also the same night as the Bad Batch. That'd be dope. I think all of us would really like that. But then Parks Outdoor, a really solid YouTuber. Much love to Parks Outdoor. If you guys have ever seen, I think that's his name. Let me double check. But Parks basically on Twitter had asked, like, what's kind of the point of it releasing Andor and Bad Batch congruently? And as a fan of Bad Batch, he's like this could potentially wreck the Bad Batch's numbers, like we saw with Miss Marvel and everything. So like, what would be an upside to having Andor and Bad Batch on the same night? So I've had this theory for quite some time, and the fact that initially the mid-season finale of Andor was supposed to be the Bad Batch Season 2 premiere. What if the 2 shows not only are running congruent, but have some tie-ins? Now, we've kind of talked about this on the streams before and on the channel, but I do think this is a possibility, that we could be getting some tie-ins from the Andor and Bad Batch show. They're set in a similar time period where one's kind of showing the beginnings of the Empire, while the other is showing the height of it, I guess you could say. Nerd Mafia with the 199 super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for that, my brother. Hope you're doing well. And shout out to you, because I see you killing it with the dragon House of the Dragon streams, and of course streaming over there with She-Hulk. Pretty freaking hype stuff, man. Alright, let's continue talking about this though, because it is pretty interesting. I want to know what you guys think on when you're hoping the Bad Batch season 2 comes out, if you're still as excited as I am about it, because your boy is never not hyped enough about the Bad Batch. You know what I mean? Bad Batch is very near and dear to my heart. But I think one of the upsides though is that these two shows could both tie in. Like, imagine we see the Bad Batch later on, and like, even though it could potentially spoil, you know, seasons 3 or 4, or, you know, the future of the Bad Batch, what if we see a character like Echo, or, you know, Omega, like, I don't know, one of these characters, heck, even, you know, Wrecker is still around, and they're part of the rebellion, and Andor interacts with them and everything, like, in live action. How cool would that be to see, man? I think a lot of us would love to see the Bad Batch transition over to live action at some point. And I don't know, just what better way to do it than having the Bad Batch season 2 air with Andor, and having the Bad Batch come into it. And when you really think about it, like, animation already, it's hard for it to get numbers, so you'd think having Andor and Bad Batch, like, that's scary for Bad Batch. But if the Bad Batch are tied into Andor somehow, that'll make fans want to go watch the animated shows and go watch the Bad Batch, I would think. And that's, as a Star Wars fan, that's what I want. I want fans to be checking out both Andor and Bad Batch, even if they're staying up till 2 a.m. like I will be. Smalls, good to see you in the chat. Leia Rose, you too. Dale Erdman, everybody in the chat, hope you're doing well. Jedi Mike, much love. Alan Copeland, you too. Greetings, everybody. Broke Smalls, I feel you. The Nerd Mob, House of the Dragon, you said it, Jedi Mike. Ray Palpatine Skywalker lives forever. Hey, much love, Prox. Much love. And shout out my man Tim, the goat. The goat. Alright, so what are you guys thinking? Please let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're watching on the replay. Are you excited for Andor? Are you excited for Bad Batch? Do you think the two shows are going to run congruently? Are you still expecting the Bad Batch to come September 28th? Like, obviously we don't really know right now, but give me your best guess. Do you think it'll come October? Because I think either way, these two shows are going to be running congruent. That's what I personally think. And I do really hope that there is some tie-in here, because I think the possibilities of that happening, the other possibility, if they're not a part of the rebellion, we know that Andor was a separatist. We know that his family was separatists. So what if the Bad Batch were sent to Andor's homeworld, like towards the end of the Clone Wars, right? And it wasn't the Empire that killed his family, or, you know, destroyed his family. What if it's the Bad Batch? And we get to see kind of that side of what it was like to be a separatist, and kind of how Andor really has been fighting against this imperial threat since he was 6 years old. Like, it would be crazy to see the Bad Batch. And heck, what kind of a redemption arc would that be for them too? Just for Andor as a kid in some of the early parts of the season, to be seeing the Bad Batch, like, you know, take out his family, take out his home planet and everything, and later on they're the ones helping him with the rebellion and everything. That would be interesting to see, I think. But the other thing is too, I do think the beginnings of the Andor show are going to happen earlier on in the timeline. Like, we have seen Republic gunships, we've seen clone troopers, and I do think something like this could potentially happen. So I think even the footage that was shown, the exclusive footage, if I'm not mistaken, this wasn't like said there, but I think that footage with Stellan Skarsgård and Cassian Andor kind of being recruited to the Empire, it seems. I think that footage actually is going to be taking place in episode 3 of the Andor show. I'm not sure at this point, and I like potential spoilers there, I guess. But I think it's going to happen in episode 3, which leaves 2 episodes at the beginning of the show to kind of introduce Andor and lead him up to being brought into the Empire in episode 3, which I think that'll all happen in that first night where we're getting 3 episodes on the premiere night. And man, we're gonna be up till like almost 4 a.m. talking about Andor, man. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a freaking good time, man. Very excited, as Alan Copeland says. My man too. You said it, Small. Nerd Mafia says, I'm thinking you're keeping my brain going as I paint this house tonight. Damn, you're painting the whole house, man? Or are you just like, what you talking about here? The beginning of the House of Dragons thing, where all the blood, you know, all killer, no filler. Well, hopefully the next time we have a mention of all killer, no filler, we actually get, you know, all killer. Nah, I don't think there's any filler in the Book of Boba either, and I think there's all killer, no filler in all of Star Wars, really. That's just my opinion, though. Dog Banshee, welcome. How are you doing, my friend? It's not going too bad on my end. I hope you're doing well, brother. Just another Tuesday. Just another Tuesday. I can pray that's the case, Smalls. You can. We all can, my man. Alright, I'm going to check out what else has been going on, because there have been a few other things going on in this Star Wars galaxy of ours. And let me check the Reddit page. And again, I want to see what you guys, I don't know if anybody's even put it in the chat, but what do you think? Do you think the Bad Batch is still going to be coming out on time? Star Wars Obsession. The absolute GOAT. You know, Star Wars Obsession was kind of breaking this news the other day when it was kind of put out there that Bad Batch could be coming still. Could be coming on September 28th. And man, I loved his stream when he was doing it. He's doing some big giveaways coming up here soon. Almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys aren't checking out Star Wars Obsession, do it. Do it or else it's treason then. Do it. Alright. The Reddit pages. So there has been some stuff going around about the Ryan of Johnson. Yes, our good friend Ryan Johnson. So for those that don't know, it is the 5-year, I think. Is it the 5-year anniversary? 5-year anniversary of is it really? Well, it's almost been 5 years, worst case, since The Last Jedi came out. And Ryan Johnson was recently talking about how he's even more proud of Star Wars The Last Jedi 5 years later. He also talked about how he would still love to get his trilogy. And if I can find this article, I'm definitely going to bring it up and talk about it with you guys. But there's some other stuff that we were speculating the other day when it came to the Sabine Wren actress, Natasha Liu Bordizzo. Her birthday was the other day, and on her like big poster thing that the whole cast and crew kind of Star Wars Ahsoka worked on, RJ was signed on there. Now, whether RJ was Ryan Johnson himself or not, I don't know, but maybe Ryan Johnson is about to make it, and now that he's done with Knives Out 2, The Glass Onion or whatever, to be honest, Knives Out was pretty lit. Knives Out was pretty lit. So I'm looking forward to Glass Onion, and I think given a different time period and everything and another chance, I would love to honestly see what Ryan Johnson does. If he works in the Ahsoka show, maybe even the Mandalorian, I'm interested. I'm interested, to be honest. I want to see what happens. But let me know what you guys thinking, though. Darth Chaos says RJ just stirring the pot. He could be. He could be. Ooh. I'm looking forward to both, says Stanley's. Nice. Nice. What are you guys looking forward to more? Let me do a poll. Bad Batch or Andor? What are you more excited for? Andor or the Bad Batch Season 2? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the poll what you think. What are you more excited for? The Bad Batch or Andor? The Stanley says, I do think it's strange that a new trailer for the Bad Batch hasn't been released already. I mean, there hasn't. Well, it'd be almost a month away now, so I don't know. I will not choose, says Dawn. You must. You must choose. I'm too weak. Bad Batch overhyped, says Proxy. I don't think so. I think it has a strong following, which is cool to me. I think a lot of the animated fans of Star Wars really back it, and I will say this. I don't think Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels, in my opinion, had as strong a first season as the Bad Batch did. Now, don't get me wrong, there were at least 1 or 2 episodes that weren't my personal favorite, but I still really like the season, and I like where they're going with the characters. And I'm honestly super excited to see what happens in season 2. Whether we're gonna start, Gunji, Palpatine. It looks like we're gonna have a few scenes of him. Just seeing the progression of Omega's character, and the fact that she is kind of like a sister of Boba Fett in a way. Like, I don't know, man. I personally love the Bad Batch. I do have a close connection to it, seeing as I started my channel with it and everything. Like, I don't know. I think in a way it could be overhyped, but not really, because I see more. Like, again, there's a strong fan base that enjoy it and really like it, and we're excited for it. But other than that, there's not like too many people hyping it up, and I don't think those of us that enjoy it are like overhyping it by any means. You know what I mean? In a way, I think it could be underhyped. Will be dope to see Cody again for sure. I definitely think it'll be dope to see Cody again. I honestly, I love that. To me, again, it feels like Bad Batch is more underhyped than it is overhyped. And if we're being honest, I think after, with Andor going out, it'll be pretty interesting to see how a live action show kind of stands up against the animated show. And it'll be interesting to see how the fandom like kind of reacts to both. From my perspective, at least. That's what I think. 212 degrees. Yo! I hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome into the chat. Is season 2 delayed? Also, do you like Andor? I do like Andor. I'll tell you this. I thought the very first time I've watched Rogue One in theaters, I thought that he was a bad guy, because he comes in and like kills the dude, and like it's like, what the heck is going on? Like, I finally checked out Rogue One in IMAX the other day again, and the casting Andor character I very much enjoy now. I think he's a really cool character, and I do like the Andor show too. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be cool to see this time period of the Empire and how the rebellion is really starting to rise, because this is 5 years before A New Hope, when things are really starting to roll with the rebellion and everything. Star Wars MCU OG, good to see you in the chat, my friend. He says, I think the Andor 3 episode premiere is going to be great. Hope Bad Batch does a deluxe episode again as well to start. Bro, me too. That would be amazing. That would really be amazing. Especially because Andor, we're hoping, is like 40-minute episodes at least, kind of like the Star Wars standard these days, like 35, 40 minutes. And I think if Bad Batch did like an hour 15 premiere like they did with the first season, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. 212 degrees says, is season 2 delayed? Okay, so that was the first part of your question. Is it delayed? I don't know. If we're being honest, the last update that we heard is that it's not delayed, and the whole thing with delayed, like, I don't think that's the proper wording, and that's the whole thing here. It was originally supposed to be September 28th. Everybody was saying it was delayed because it wasn't listed for September, but the Andor show was not listed for September either, when we know it's coming September 21st. So my kind of working theory at this point is that because Andor is coming out September 21st and Bad Batch is looking like it's still coming out September 28th, these are kind of the back half of September, so they're not like showcasing them as coming out now, like coming out September, because I mean they have Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder coming out in like a week or two. They have all this stuff that's coming other than just the Bad Batch that's literally coming out the last like 3 days of September, and then Andor, which wasn't even listed either, and it's coming out September 21st. So that's kind of my working theory, is just it wasn't slated on there because of that. And maybe it just wasn't showing Star Wars stuff because Lucasfilm, and they love their secrecy. I don't know why. Lucasfilm, it would be so cool to just have a release date and stick to it and actually get the shows then. Like, that's all we're just hoping. I get delays happen and stuff, but as far as I'm concerned, Bad Batch is not delayed at this point. So let's hope it stays that way. AICC22. Hi, bro. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Dan the Man says, my lord, what is it to be done with the Rian Johnson trilogy? If he could be turned, he would be a powerful ally, wouldn't you say? I would think. I don't know. I like Rian, like, as a director. I Last Jedi is not my favorite movie by any means. I don't like hate it by any means either. I don't know. It would be interesting to see him get another shot at Star Wars and what he does with it, or what he does with Dave in particular. If he works on, I mean, whether he does get his trilogy eventually, or whether he's working with Dave and John. It would be really cool to see him get a shot with Dave and John. And if it, he knocks it out of the water, I say, why not give him his own trilogy? Just probably make it like his own thing. Like, give him Broom Boy, or a new time period. Heck, if he goes Old Republic, it would be cool to see Rian Johnson go Old Republic, I think, or KOTOR type of thing. Sticking to release dates, Lucasfilm? Never. Hey, Ashhammer, it's good to see you in the chat, my man. Hope you're doing well. Dale Erdman says, I'm excited for both A and B. I hear you, my friend. What up? Small says, Bad Batch gonna have more lasting impact. It could than Andor. Oh, man. I think Tony Gilroy is putting a lot into, he's putting a lot into this. And the cool thing about Tony Gilroy, and the thing that makes me think that Andor and Bad Batch not only could be congruent, but maybe, give us a little tie-in, give us a little... I think the whole thing with that is, Tony Gilroy loves the animated stuff, it seems like. And he put a lot of, hints to Star Wars Rebels, which is very, very, not only accurate, but just like true to the source kind of stuff, like having Harris Syndulla being called on the speaker comms on Yavin, seeing Chopper go by, having the Ghost be a part of the Battle of Scarif. I mean, little things like that I think are going to pop up all over in Andor, especially as we get to season 2 for the Rebellion and for the Rebels cast in particular. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited for both. Geek Ledger, love that name, says, I think Bad Batch is delayed by at least a month because Andor was delayed by almost a month. That was my initial thought too. He says it was originally slated to come out tomorrow, but it got moved to September 21st. Yeah, Geek Ledger, we were actually just talking about that, and initially I did think the Bad Batch was going to get pushed back, but we've had at least rumors again stirring up, like the whole reason we thought that the Bad Batch was going to get pushed back, other than the fact that Andor was that it wasn't listed for September. That's the whole reason. It was like, people like Star Wars Theory, even myself, everybody, all the Star Wars YouTubers, we were all covering it and saying it was delayed, when that wasn't really accurate. It wasn't delayed. We didn't know what was going on with it. It just wasn't listed for September. So Andor, again, wasn't listed for September either, even though we know it's coming out September 21st. I think because the two shows are coming out the back half of the month, it might be that might be the case of why it wasn't like showcased for coming September, but again, Lucasfilm is all about their secrecy. And so right now the working thing is that it could be September 28th still, but to your point, it could be pushed back a month. Geek Ledger. The Stanley says Ryan still thinks he did a great job. Unwilling to admit mistakes will lead to more. I mean, it's all subjective and opinionative, so he made a lot of money. Leia Rose says, I am more excited I'm more excited for Bad Batch than Andor. There you go. I know there's fans out there that are like that. Personally, I don't. They're both like new Star Wars and the Imperial era. Like, it's good to me. Give me both. I'm making you guys choose because I don't want to. Dawn says, Dale, I agree. I'm really attached to the clones. Me too. I love the clones. Love them clones. Darth Chaos says, can't help but wonder if we're gonna get some overlap. Would be awesome to see them tie in. I think that too, especially because the two shows were already slated to run congruently, and now we're thinking they could run congruently still. I mean, maybe the whole point of Andor being pushed into 3 episodes in the premiere is so that Bad Batch can be fit into the back half of the year somewhere else. But it's 16 episodes. I think there's going to be some overlap with a 12-episode live-action show and a 16-episode animated show. At least that's what we're thinking. 16 episodes for season 1 of The Bad Batch. But who knows? Maybe it's going to follow in the Star Wars Rebels kind of way and go 22 episodes for season 2. And I would be super down for that. Super down for 22 episodes of The Bad Batch. Are you kidding me? That's the other thing. Bad Batch is going to be half-hour episodes as opposed to the like 40-minute 40-minute episodes for Andor. But Bad Batch, we're getting that 22 30-minute episodes, which that'll go by kind of quick. It'll go by kind of quick every week. Ash Hammer says Bad Batch is gonna be awesome, but it's something about live action Star Wars that just hits different. I hear you. But there's sometimes where animation hits different too. There's sometimes, man. Making me want to play Battlefront 2 now. Dude, Battlefront 2's been lit. I played it the other day on the channel. It's definitely pretty lit, man. Dan the Man says, all we need is Ahsoka to uncover the world between worlds. See Rey in the portal and destroy it. Or at least, at the very least, tell her she's sorry and then say goodbye and leave. I'm sorry. Wait, who says they're sorry? Ahsoka or Rey? Geek Ledger says, I think the perfect story for Johnson's trilogy is a trilogy post Episode 9. Call it Star Wars Legacy of the Force Part 1, 2, and 3. Deal with an old Rey as the Grand Master of a new Jedi Order. I'm down. And give us, dude, even though he was saying he probably wouldn't come back, I said then I didn't think it was true, but give us some John Boyega as part of that Jedi Order, man. Yeah, do it. I'm for it. I'm for it, man. I would love a post. At some point, I think we gotta get a post Rise of Skywalker trilogy or movie or show or something. Just at some point, I think that's gonna be the case. There's definitely a big enough part of the fandom that loves that trilogy, and I think there's enough of us that are open-minded to seeing more of that story. I think there's more of that story to tell, to be honest. Smalls says, alright friends, I have to step. Much love to you, Smalls. See you later in the Discord, my friend. Hope you have a great day. Dan the Man says, Ahsoka tells Rey that she is sorry. Rey portal world would then disappear along with Rey. Interesting. So like forever, or just like for now? I don't know. I don't think we're ever getting rid of Rey. There's no getting rid of her. She's sticking around forever. I'm for it. I'm down for some more Palpatines. Extend the line. It's like Game of Thrones. You gotta extend the line. Dan the Man says, forever. She ain't coming back. No, my granddaughter. She's definitely coming back. Come on. Let's check out what else has been going on, and we're probably gonna call it a little bit early today. Let me see if I can find this Ryan Johnson article. Let me see if I can find it. It's probably out there on the Twitters somewhere. Ryan Johnson. Alright. So here's an article from Empire. Ryan Johnson is even more proud of Star Wars: The Last Jedi 5 years on. Exclusive. So, if there's a line of dialogue in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, that feels particularly apt, it's the one spoken by Luke Skywalker. This is not going to go the way you think. You could say that again. Writer-director Rian Johnson's middle chapter in the sequel trilogy was a rich, adventurous, mythical tale continuing the stories of Rey, Kylo Ren, Finn, and Poe Dameron that also dug deep into the soul of Luke Skywalker himself. Decades after the triumphant finale of Return of the Jedi, along the way it contained all kinds of surprises, developing the threads of The Force Awakens in fresh and unexpected ways. It was a box office smash, pulling in over $1.3 billion worldwide, but it also challenged its audience in ways that some maybe weren't quite ready for. In a major New Empire interview, Rian Johnson looks back on The Last Jedi for its 5th anniversary, reflecting with a few years distance on his episode in the Skywalker saga, saying, "I'm even more proud of it 5 years on. When I was up to bat, I really wanted to swing at the ball." The film, he says, is not just a Star Wars movie, but it's a movie about Star Wars. There you go. And what it means to fans, himself included. I think it's impossible for any of us to approach Star Wars without thinking about it as a myth that we were raised with, and how that myth, that story, baked itself into us and affected us, Johnson explained. The ultimate intent was not to strip away, the intent was to get to the basics, the fundamental between power of the power of the myth, basically. He said, "Ultimately, I hope the film is an affirmation of power of the myth of Star Wars in our lives." That extends to its controversial depiction of Luke Skywalker as a hermit who closed himself off from the Force, having sensed darkness in his nephew Ben Solo, and accidentally pushed him further towards the dark side as Kylo Ren. But where did we go? I lost my place because the page reloaded or something. But as much as Luke begins the film in a very different place than when he left at the end of the trilogy, his arc over the course of The Last Jedi, ending with his death and the birth of a new Skywalker legend, sees him become a galactic symbol of hope and rebellion once more. The final images of the movie to me are not deconstructions of the myth of Luke Skywalker, they're the ones that are building it. And to him, they're embracing it, basically. And that's what Rian Johnson explained. He said they're him absolutely defying the notion of throwing away the past, which is kind of how his character starts, by throwing the lightsaber, and embracing what actually matters about his myth and what's going to inspire the next generation. So for me, the process of stripping away is always in the interest of getting to something essential that really matters. Something essential that really matters. He could be describing The Last Jedi itself, it says. Interesting. So that is kind of the way it is, and of course Glass Onion is around the corner, it seems like, as we are at the 5-year anniversary of the Rian Johnson Last Jedi movie. Let me know what you guys think of that, though. To be honest, pretty interesting to see Rian Johnson's thoughts on it 5 years later, and again, I'm willing to see him take another shot at Star Wars and what he would do with it. In fact, I really haven't seen The Last Jedi too many times since it really came out back in the day, and I think it'd be worth a fair shot to watch through the trilogy of the sequels again, because those are movies I don't really watch all the time. So I think now knowing it's the 5-year anniversary, I guess you could say, of The Last Jedi, seeing Ryan's thoughts, I'd be interested to see what I think of it now if I watch through the whole trilogy again. But I don't know. Dan the Man says, "I forgot she's your granddaughter, Sheev." Yes, indeed. I would be down for it to be, if it was a Palpy. If Palpy wasn't a clone, oh. I don't know. I think it's a cool story how Palpy's clone son escaped. Geek Ledger says, then maybe that could lead into a new saga, this time with parts instead of episodes. You could do a 3-part legacy saga, and then some standalone movies, then a 6-part KOTOR saga. Dude, that would be sick. More standalone, etc. That would be sick, man. And I think, to your point, they could easily do a standalone Mandalorian movie to kind of finish off that that show or that kind of era, or even multiple Mandalorian kind of movies in the future. That would be really cool to see too. Heck, dude, how cool would it be to get like a movie on Jango Fett and like his lead up to Boba and everything, Darth Tyrannus, you know, that'd be sick. Jedi Mike says Luke is a hopeful hero. Must read the Legends of Luke Skywalker. There you go. Talented Mr. Griffin, what up, my guy? I hope you're doing well. Dan the Man says, I'll say this: the only thing Ryan got was the Yoda scene. I like that Yoda scene for sure, man. God, oh man, all the hate's coming in now. All right, Star Wars MCU says just me, but I hope Ryan Johnson never allowed near Star Wars again. Oh, I don't know. I'm willing to see it. Brian O'Connor says, what's up, good nerdy people? What up with you, Brian O'Connor, my friend. Gosh, I can't talk. Justin B says, let's get Christopher Nolan trilogy. Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be real fun. Hey, Mike the Stanchill Porter. Hello there, my friend. It's good to see you in the chat. If you guys don't follow Mike Porter on Twitter, what are you doing with your life? Do it. Go check out Mike Porter's Twitter, though. That guy's a legend. I think he did a space earlier because, you know, Mike Porter in space, there's nothing better. Go check out Mike Porter's Twitter, though. Go check out his spaces because the boy, I mean, come on. Legend. Absolute legend. Proxy says, don't let Ruin Johnson touch anything. Oh no. Talented Mr. Griffin says, I think Nolan would make it very complex. He would. And that's why, I don't know, man. I know they gotta kind of keep it surface level sometimes for the, you know, the people that don't go as deep as you and I. But wow, would it be interesting to see Christopher Nolan do a take on Star Wars, you know? Dan the Man says, Nolan focusing on either the Wills or the Force or an adult Grogu. Bro, adult Grogu by Christopher Nolan. Do it. Who's got jokes for days? Ruin Johnson? He is funny. Sheev the Wise, I forgot to give you my book, A New Dawn by Jonathan Jackson Miller. Bro, it's okay. Next time, my friend. We definitely got to do it next time, my friend. For sure. Mike the Stanchill Porter says, it's just 20 minutes. You can listen to my Twitter space while you brush your teeth. There you go. Make sure to brush your teeth for 20 minutes. The gums will be almost falling off the bone at that point. But you can listen to Mike Porter's space while you do it. Star Wars MCU OG says, think RJ has done other stuff that's good, though. He has done very good other stuff. I like Looper. I like... I'm so dead. No, I like Knives Out and Looper a lot, though, and I don't know. RJ is cool. I do more with him. Whatever. If Nolan did a movie on the Wills, nobody would understand what the hell is going on, including him. Yeah, I don't. Somebody's got it. I feel like Dave should do something with the Wills. You know what I was cool to see on my rewatch of Rogue One was the fact, and I talked about this I think in the other stream, but the fact that Chirrut Imwe and like, you know, that group of people were like guardians of the Wills. That was what they were called. It would be cool to get more of their characters and more of that kind of idea. I would love to get more of Jeddah. I think Jeddah is... I know we're all tired of desert planets. We're all tired of Tatooine, but give me some more Jeddah, man. I would love to see Jeddah make an appearance in Andor. Andor, let's go! What up, Reaper Man Reviews? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Use a softer toothbrush. Damn. I'm just playing. 20 minutes is a long time to brush your teeth. I think, like, yeah, that's just a long time to me. The Stanley says Ryan shouldn't continue with Star Wars. Anything he does now in relation to Star Wars has to be fantastic or he'll be boycotted. You're not wrong about that. I will agree that I think with anything Ryan's gonna touch in Star Wars, people are gonna put it under a microscope lens, and I think it wouldn't even be something where like the beginning of the episode or the movie, it's like, you know, directed by Ryan Johnson. That's gonna be something they put at the very end, and most fans are gonna like overlook, or, you know, they're not gonna notice until people are talking about it online or something. Star Wars MCU OG says, were the Guardians only on Jeddah, or were they at other temples too. Def could be cool to explore. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really sure. I could look it up real quick to give you an idea, but yeah, that's exactly my point, man. I would love to see more of the Guardians of the Wills and what they were up to, and they kind of protected it after the Jedi died, and there was a lot less to do for them, it seemed like, at that point. Guardians of the Wills. Let me see. There's a book, apparently. Disney Plus, Guardians of the Wills. What? Is that's a thing? Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, Disney Plus. Ha! Guardians of the Wills, also known as Guardians of the Kyber Temple, were a religious order that existed. Where did we go? I lost my place. The Guardian that existed at least a few years before the invasion of Naboo. So way back in episode 1, they were around at that time. It says the Guardians later acted as resistance group, which we see in Andor, of monks and active in Jeddah City on Jeddah during the Imperial era. So it seems like they were mainly on Jeddah, to answer your question there. They traditionally used handcrafted the light bow, which we see Chirrut use, like a bowcaster form of it that was native to Jeddah. And of course we see them battle on the Battle of Scarif. So pretty cool stuff that they were guarding the Temple of the Kybers, basically, which is why we even see the Imperials on Jeddah and everything, other than the fact that Saw Gerrera was there as well. But I would imagine there were probably quite a few Kyber crystals at the Kyber temple. So these dudes were having to put in work to protect that place. You know what I mean? Alright, let me see what y'all are saying. Peace out, Proxy. Much love. Mike the Stand Show Porter says, listen to my replay of Twitter Space while you pack your lunch for tomorrow. There you go. There you go. Do a Super Droid show? That would be fun. Honestly. I like droids. Talented Mr. Griffin says, will we see hints of the path pop up? Dude, yeah, man. So he says, will we see hints of the path pop up anywhere else other than Obi-Wan? I definitely think so. I think if we don't see stuff about the path in Andor, I might be a little bit shocked. Although, honestly, with it being closer to the end of the Empire, I wouldn't be surprised if the path is kind of over with by the time that we get to Andor. But I think in Jedi Fallen Order, the path could definitely be like pretty relevant. Or Jedi Fallen, the second one, Jedi Survivor. Dude, that would make so much sense. Jedi Survivor being about the path, which is all about surviving Jedi, and plus, like, you know, Jedi Fallen Order is all about survivors as well. So Star Wars MCU OG says, so many good stories can be told in the future. Guardians just one example. Dude, there is a lot to explore in the Star Wars universe, and they can literally tell like an endless amount of stories. And I love Star Wars, man. I love it. The Stanley says, I'd like to see Quinlan Voss and the Path and the Bad Batch. Dude, that would be a fantastic place for the Bad Batch, like for that to show up. The Bad Batch is a perfect place for the Path to be. MK Matt says, many people say that too much fan service is bad, and generally I agree with that. But Disney Star Wars has way too little fan service. They rarely have directly built upon prequel stuff. And then he says, and have only a couple of very limited scenes with some direct tie-ins. They need to embellish the existing story more rather than simply trying to build their own. I will say this, they've been building other stories. Like, I think that's what they're going to do with the Acolyte. The Acolyte, I think, is going to build a lot into what we get at the beginning of the prequels and kind of what's going on with the prequel trilogy. And then I also think that what they've done so far is actually pretty cool, because they've been filling in the gaps between episodes 3 and 4. And now they're starting to fill in the gaps between episodes 6 and 7. So the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. So right now they're kind of bridging the gaps between trilogies. And I think that's now with the Acolyte and hopefully some other future projects, they're going to start to dive more into prequel stuff. And you're right, in a way, I feel like Star Wars, when it was purchased by Disney, it was almost like they were afraid to touch prequel stuff in a way. Obviously, they finished off the Clone Wars. They did a show that was all about post Clone Wars and post prequels that really was like leading into the original trilogy, being Rebels. And then obviously they did Bad Batch stuff, which is a little tied into the prequel stuff too. So I feel like they're starting to do more prequel stuff in a way. And I think the Acolyte is going to be really the kind of big part of that. RF Gaming Channel, it's good to see you in the chat, and thank you. Welcome to the dark side. Thanks for joining at the Acolyte membership. Welcome to the member, man. Thank you for being a member, my friend. Only $1 right now. If you guys want to support the channel, you can become a member today in the link in the description below. MK Matt now says, yeah, I definitely agree. I'm loving what I'm getting, but yeah, I feel they only directly link to the prequels very sparingly. They do, and part of me is appreciative of that, because then they can mess up more stuff with mess up less stuff with it. But no, I agree, man. I want them to dive full force into the prequels and give us a lot more of that stuff. Heck, I think it would be cool to get a story about Anakin and Obi-Wan between episodes 1 and 2. I mean, we kind of got that with Brotherhood. It was just after episode 2, really. But man, a story of younger Anakin and seeing some more of him in canon, I don't know. That'd be cool to see in an animation or anything. And the other thing is they're giving us more with the Tales of the Jedi too. Tales of the Jedi, I think, is going to be huge for the prequels. It's going to give us the backstory of Dooku, which is super cool to me. And then we're also going to see kind of the backstory and even post story of Ahsoka, which definitely is prequel heavy. So again, I think they're starting to dive into these prequel stories, and I'm loving it. Geek Ledger says, I still want an animated series set in between episodes 1 and 2 following Obi-Wan and Anakin. Maybe an episodic anthology series, since that time period spans 10 years. You said it, my man. I'm with you, Geek Ledger. Do it. I don't know why they wouldn't. I think that's a cool time period to explore. We all loved... obviously, we have the whole Clone Wars, which is set between 2 and 3, and it's kind of that exact thing, except the Clone Wars is like 2.5 years. It's like a 3-year gap, man. This is a whole 10-year period of Anakin and Obi-Wan stories that's like largely unexplored. Do it! As Star Wars MCU OG says, give me a young Dooku show, I'm here for it. Well, I think that's really what we're getting with the Tales of the Jedi, man, and it's going to be freaking dope. I've already seen the spoilers, and honestly, we're covering way less spoilers here. I don't really want to do them too much on the channel right now. But man, from what I've seen of the Tales of the Jedi stuff, I'm so hyped. I'm freaking hyped for the Dooku stuff, man. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be freaking awesome. Ashhammer says, fan service is amazing. I'll take all the fan service. Me too. And the cool thing about fan service is you can do it in a way where it's not even fan service. Especially with Star Wars. You know, Andor, Tony Gilroy has already said kind of that there's not really fan service in this show. I don't think there is, because guess what? If the characters belong in the story, that's not fan service. They're just there because they're supposed to be. I know, mind-blowing, right? But that's how it is. There are so many characters that belong in this 5-year story of Andor. It's ridiculous. Heck, we already know that there's like hundreds of members of just cast members alone involved with the Andor show. We don't know everybody it's going to be, but heck, think back to Rogue One. We had R2-D2 and C-3PO show up. We had Darth Vader show up. We got the beginnings of like Imperial or rebellion stuff and Imperial stuff, where we even see Krennic, which obviously he's a huge part of Andor and everything, and he's kind of introduced in that, but he's a very important character. We also get Tarkin. It can't be understated how important Tarkin is to this time period. I mean, there's so many little characters. Again, Harrison Dula is named. We see the Ghost, Chopper. There's so many little characters that can pop up. Heck, Leia's in Rogue One. Like, Bail Organa. I don't know, man. I can continue. There's so many characters that kind of belong in this Andor story that, yes, it's not fan service. It's still a cameo, but it's not fan service. RF Gaming Channel says, I started watching after you talked Bad Batch, but it's possibly to drop the whole season at once to keep weekly focus on Andor. One of the screenshots made it seem like it. That's interesting. I don't think so. Okay, so I don't think so. The Bad Batch is probably 16 episodes. That's a lot of episodes, man, to drop all at once. I don't think they would do that. If anything, I think Tales of the Jedi might get released all at once. So I think Andor and Bad Batch are probably going to run congruent, whether Bad Batch does come out September 28th or whether it's going to come out in like October or something. I'm not sure. But I think that it's still coming out around that time, October at like the latest, maybe the earliest. But in my opinion, I think Bad Batch will lead to like the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, around December time, I think Tales of the Jedi 6 episodes gets released all at once. If anything's going to get released all at once, I think it's Tales of the Jedi. But I don't know. Ashhammer says, yeah, for sure, MC level fan service. Let me see what happened. Dan the Man says, give me a post Return of the Jedi Clone Wars style animated series. And keep saying it in my chat, dude. Keep doing it. And he says, with like new characters doing other things in the Star Wars galaxy. I'm down with that, man. So like a kind of like a Mandalorian kind of thing, but with characters that fit that timeline and the Clone Wars style animation. I'm for it, man. Heck, they could bring them into live action and bring them into the Mandalorian stuff too. You know, Skeleton Crew is supposed to be set during that kind of time frame too. So I don't know, man. It would just be dope. It would be dope. Ash, well done. Fan service is awesome. MCU nailed it for many years. Yes, they did. Geek Ledger says, I mean, they could totally adapt the Jedi Quest, Jedi Apprentice novels from the early 2000s. They followed Anakin and Obi-Wan respectively as they began and continued their journeys as Jedi. Yeah, I think that's kind of what's kept them from doing a story about Anakin and Obi-Wan during that time. But I don't know, man. I'm open to it still. I want to see it. I don't know, man. I don't really see it as fan service myself. I kind of see where they're coming from, but it's not. Just give us all the fun stuff in Star Wars. It's fun. All right, y'all. I think we're gonna get on out of here. So if there's any last comments that you want to put into the chat or any questions you have about the Bad Batch or Andor series, put them into the chat now, and we're gonna get on out of here in the next couple of minutes. Geek Ledger says, I think I read that one. He says, I think they're testing the waters with 3-episode premiere. Disney could start releasing episodes in batches to stave off overlap between shows. Possibly. I read some stuff about how the Disney Plus might be doing their scheduling and stuff. I don't really know if it's true, but it's a little wonky, and they do it based off of like audience retention and numbers and keeping people subscribed to Disney Plus. So I don't really know. I have no idea. And it makes sense that they would do it at the end of September for both of these stuff, because I mean Bad Batch is probably going to be overlooked by Andor anyway, I think, unfortunately, unless Andor has Bad Batch in it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it'll probably still be like congruent and stave off overlap between shows. I don't know though. I don't think they will. I think it's gonna overlap just because it's 16 and 12 episodes. It's a lot of episodes. But they could be testing the waters with the 3-episode premiere. In a way, I think the 3-episode premiere could be what leaves room for the Bad Batch, like I said earlier. But I don't know. It's complicated at this point. Ashhammer says, imagine a Clone Wars style show, but like in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Exactly like Clone Wars, so everyone from the movies are in it and more. That would be interesting. So like kind of the war between Empire and Rebels, but that'd be cool. I'd be down for it. They have a lot of like comics and stuff of that time, but I'd be down for it, man. It's kind of like the War of the Bounty Hunters comics covers a lot of this time period, and like Han Solo getting taken by everybody, like Kira was in possession of him at one time. So a lot of that is kind of already around, but seeing that in animated style would be amazing. I mean, heck, having Kira in animation would be freaking cool. Geek Ledger says, yeah, what Ash said. Call it Star Wars Civil War. Wait, never mind. That's a bad name. I mean, the whole Star Wars kind of galaxy is Civil War. Alright, y'all. It has been a fun stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I will see you guys pretty soon. I'm going to try to get a video out about this kind of thing, about, you know, it's kind of about the same kind of thing that we talked about in this live stream, about the Bad Batch Season 2 kind of release date, and how I think it could be bolstered and made even better if the Andor show has a little tease of the Bad Batch in it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. I think we're going to do one tomorrow, but I will keep you guys updated through the Discord. So go check us out in the Discord and the link below. Check out our Twitter at Vader's Lair, our Instagram at Chief the Wise. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and may the Force be with you always. Peace.